Hey everyone, I've got two charts up here of Nefertiti. This is a great song by Wayne Shorter. This chart over here gives it credit to Miles Davis, so I don't know who wrote it really, but maybe they both collaborated. Anyway, I have played along with this song many times trying to figure out things that Herbie Hancock is doing. And I gotta say, I kind of agree with the chord symbols here, but in a way, there are places in the song that almost sound like there's not really a specific chord symbol. Maybe it's just a mode or a scale that is implied, and you can do whatever you want with it. The very first chord right here is this A flat major seventh. Which chart should I use? I guess I'll use this one from the New Real book. I think it's a little bit more accurate. But when you listen to the recording, I mean, even though the bass player does play an A flat there, and that does make it an A flat major seventh chord with the flat five, but all I hear is these three notes. And so it's kind of like, an E altered or a B flat dominant seventh. It's just a rootless voicing that we've heard many times, especially when you put that C up there. And so to me, it's just a tonality. So many times the bass player hits different notes there, not always the A flat. So to me, I would just go with, this altered scale here, which is what altered scale? It would be like an E altered, that kind of sound. And then this is what I hear for the next chord, for D flat sus. Let's play a little of the melody. Definitely hearing the G minor 7 with the flat 5, but the rootless voicing here, it's not really rootless, but it's one of the shapes. Shape 2, box 2, whatever you want to call it. And then the next one, you could think of it as an F sharp 7th chord. And, it kind of sounds like this, or like this, or like that. It all depends on, how Herbie is playing it. Could do that. But either way, it's dominant motion moving to B major 7th. So. And yeah, the original chart here in the original real book is definitely wrong there. They've got that chord as some kind of a B flat chord, and it's still just our B major with a flat 5. So I think that's a good way of writing it. And here we have got a B flat minor 7. Flat 5. All right, you can see, and this is almost like, our G flat chord here. And then going to, a very altered sounding E flat dominant chord. So that's the first two lines of the song. Let's just play it again. And I will write out these left-hand voicings that I'm using. Now, what did I do here? Yeah, I think it was just two fourth chords, like an A flat sus or something. I mean, they've got E major. Oh, I think that is what it is, actually. So let's use this voicing. Once again, it's like that G flat dominant chord, or even the E chord. And then this is just like the very first chord of the song, except it's down a whole step. But, it moves the same way. Remember the beginning? Does that. So here's, a similar spot. Yeah. And it's definitely some kind of an F sharp suspended chord there. And here, the last three measures, it's all kind of the same chord. You've got E flat, sharp 11, or you could call it A altered, and you could keep messing around with it. Do stuff like that, like that, like that. I think all of those will work. And, Herbie plays some pretty wild chords in that spot. So I encourage you to listen to this song and see what you can pick out. Let me try to play the song all the way through here using the voicings that, to me, sound the most correct. Now, nobody ever really takes a solo on this song. The melody just keeps being played over and over again, and the improvisation is really being done by Herbie Hancock. And it's, a beautiful example of how to accompany a melody and how to be very, very creative with a pretty creative chord progression as well. So, suppose you want to improvise on the song. So, like I said, using, whatever scale you think fits this chord the best. To me, my hand always just goes to that particular scale, which is actually a, what is that scale? I can't even think. Yeah, it's a E altered, F minor melodic ascending. Yeah, so there, I used E altered, and then maybe just D flat major works pretty well there. Here is the Locrian sharp 2 if you're thinking G minor 7th. But if you were thinking E flat dominant, you could use Lydian dominant. And if you were thinking A altered, you'd use the A altered scale. All the same notes. And like I've said many times before, when you use one of these rootless shape voicings, no matter what chord you're using it for, usually the same scale will work. Whether it's an E flat dominant, an A dominant, a G minor 7 flat 5, or a B flat minor 6 9 chord, the same scale will apply. Okay, so where am I now? And then here on the C7th, the diminished scale would be nice. And to kind of go doing the B flat or the B Lydian. So maybe that's not the original intention of the song, but, it's kind of a fun song to mess around with, and it will certainly, kind of expand your hearing. I think a song like this helps you get used to some of these more modern chord changes that aren't just doing 2-5-1s all the time. And, that was what a lot of these composers like Miles Davis and Wayne Shorter and Herbie Hancock were trying to do, is get away from 2-5-1, just like Debussy tried to get away from classical harmony and do different things. These great jazz musicians back in the 50s and 60s were doing the exact same thing. One more really great song, I've done Pinocchio now and Nefertiti, but another great song on this album is called Fall, and I believe I have a video about that song as well. So, if you like this album and want to explore these songs, there you go.